So, yep, yeah.
That was a good switch to the next topic.
yeah.
Now that you mention it, Pamarik.
Now that I mentioned what? I just...
Now that you mentioned the sound that Baymax makes.
Welingante kame, mafrapo, and welcome to the Eana Mokri podcast. We got a full episode here. No tiny episodes, no skeleton crew episodes. We got 6 whole people today. New among them for today is Alyara, Kalte.
Kalte.
We also have Eana.
Kalte.
Bloomps.
Kalte.
Tawe.
Kalte.
And Willem.
Kalte.
We got the full, we'll say full house for this one.
Yeah.
But anyway, our new guest here, Alyara, is here to announce and inform you all of the leNa'vi writing contest that is going on. So I'm going to pass it over to her.
Okay, the leNa'vi writing contest. It's entirely leNa'vi. It has to be an original work. You can do poetry, you can do short story, or you can do an essay. The word counts are maximum of 500 for poetry, 1,000 for an essay, and 1,500 for a short story. There's 2 themes. The first one is really specific. It's whatever you think might be some of the tales and legends that the leNa'vi people, the leNa'vi culture, have from the past. The second is a little broader, because we thought, especially with poetry, you might have difficulty with that. It's friendship and how you interpret that, what it means to you. It's over as of April 17th, so all your submissions as attachments get sent to Ali, and I have his email somewhere. Sorry about that.
Is leperbergart@gmail.com?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I was just looking at the news post in the learnna'vi Discord.
Oh, you're wonderful.
But yeah, that is leperbergart@gmail.com, ZLEPPERBURGART @gmail.com to send in your submissions. And again, yeah, as you mentioned, the deadline is April 17th, so we'll try to get this episode edited and up sooner rather than later.
We'll have it on April the 18th, yeah.
Hopefully not. So this isn't the first writing contest that has happened before, and those who have been in the community for longer than I can speak to that.
Yeah, the last yearly contest was in 2014, so... Those of us who remember
that was a long time ago.
Can attest that it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of very interesting writing out of that. The new thing that we've added this year is the short story category, which we never had before. So knock yourselves out.
I definitely have seen a lot of people in the community talking about how they've already been writing and they've been having a lot of fun with it. So... I'm looking forward to sitting down and writing something as well. I'm gonna hopefully get an entry.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get one in as well.
So I was wondering, Alyara, if you don't mind me asking. So do you have any tips? For example, me, like I would want to write something, but basically I don't really know what to write about because the topic of friendship or leNa'vi mythology is kind of large, right? Mm-hmm. So do you have any suggestions for what people could be write about or ideas?
Ooh, when I sat down to start writing, I had a character in my head. This was when I was first new to leNa'vi. I had just a little vignette in my head, and I wrote like a 1-page story. And it was just a little thing about a guy who was being tracked through the forest by a hunter. And that launched 1,000 other stories, and I would have to plug myself and say, I have 1,000 1,000 stories. If you want to go see the forum, they're there. At any rate, just whatever speaks to you. If you happen to have a scene in mind or a character that you want to play with, then run with it. And if it runs in a direction that is unexpected, that's a good thing.
Right.
Yep. Sort of adding to that, I think it's a fantastic idea to start with a character and sort of figure out properties or quirks or behaviors of that character, and give them a situation, and then sort of answer the question, how would this character act in this situation? What things would they be concerned about? Like, what would their priorities be? And how would they tackle the scenario? My girlfriend does improv comedy, and a lot of that is figuring out who's your character, sort of like what motivates them, what's their general behavior, and then they're put into a situation, and it's a matter of how do they respond to that situation. And I think even starting with a idea for a character or a voice or a personality even, and then applying that to something is a great way to get a story just going and get a story moving and figure out where it goes.
Yeah. At my workplace, like a few years ago, we had this improv class that I had, and I was super impressed by how this improv tutor could just like come up with story ideas, like 10 per minute, like random ideas.
Yeah.
And then some of them would be bad, but some of them would be really good.
Exactly. And it's sort of true with any creative work. Just like not every single thing you write is going to be amazing, and your first one probably won't be amazing, but your next one will be even better. And as you go, you'll figure out, you'll learn, grow, and you'll make something great eventually if you just go at it.
Yes, goes for any creative work.
Yeah, and it's enough time that if you don't come up with a short story, then maybe you can try an essay, and maybe that gets your ideas flowing, and something comes out of that. So that's also possible. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the information.
I remember last time that we had a very broad topic, if I'm not mistaken. It was something like keeping the Na'vi language alive or something like that, or meaning of the Na'vi language. Yeah, I tried to remember how we did it back then, but I couldn't find any emails or it's 5 years. It's a long time. Yeah.
Were you in the jury or?
I was part of the jury as this time again. Yeah. So
So we know who we have to bribe this time.
No. That's because
incorruptible.
That's because the emails get sent to Ollie, and he will sort them in a way and assign them numbers, and then they get to Tirea and myself and Alyara, and then we will come up with an algorithm to sort the short stories or entries, and decide who's the winner.
So it's just like double-blind paper reviewing, which I have to deal with often in my work.
May I ask what the criteria are?
Alyara. I think we haven't decided on that. And there is the broad sense of there's beginner and intermediate or advanced. And then
so just to clarify regarding that, so there's just two categories. There's beginner, and then there's intermediate/advanced, not beginner, intermediate, and advanced for 3.
No.
Yeah,
okay.
Not unless we get a landslide of submissions, which
got it.
In that case, maybe we might separate intermediate from advanced. But the way that we're expecting it to work out, we've combined intermediate and advanced separate from beginner, because we'll be judging based on correctness and just the beauty of the language, the way that it's used, and general meaning. Is it meaningful and significant to us, which is kind of a subjective thing, but there's always that in judging. There's always kind of the artistic part of the interpretation.
Makes sense.
Those who will win, or like any entries who are submitted, which are submitted, will they all be published, or just the winners, and where? Because if I remember correctly, like the winners of the last contest were published on le'na'vi, lì'fya.
Yeah, Paul has said that he's gonna publish the winners on his post le'na'vi. We may have a surprise, maybe not, but it depends on whether or not I get my act together. No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay.
No pressure putting that saying that on a public podcast.
Yeah, but sounds good. I mean, I'm looking forward to anything we get to read after.
I think again it depends on how many will participate. I think last time we had even first, second, and third, if I'm not mistaken, because we only had the category, because it was one topic and the category was beginner and intermediate. And I think there was all three places were published. But I can't remember. I'm old.
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
Right.
Well, good luck to everyone.
Oh yeah, have fun.
Yeah, the important thing is definitely to have fun. And it's always really cool reading over what other people write. If nothing else, it makes for fantastic practice. I know sometimes when I've been searching for usage of a particular word, the only instances it's come up have been in like Na'vi writing contest announcement posts on Na'vi. So it's like, oh, this is my only reference for how this word has been used before. Cool. So it's an
Also, it would be really nice if people could also record their pieces of writing, so you can do listening practice with them.
Yes, but do that after.
Of course.
Yes, do that after the contest though, because that makes it significantly less anonymous for the judges.
Yes. Otherwise, I would have to be off the Discord server for how many weeks?
And also remember, and also forget what we all sound like.
Yeah,
true.
And it would also be like,
Yeah.
okay, it's Na'vi with a German accent.
Got a point there.
Voices? I don't know from voices.
Alternate contest category. Write something in Na'vi, then get somebody who doesn't know Na'vi to read it and record that.
That sounds like a
Pronunciation not counted. Yeah.
How good that you are at Na'vi voice coaching. Yeah.
Right?
No coaching. Coaching is cheating.
I thought that was the teaching contest.
No, okay. Well, teaching contest. Sign me up for that. That'd be,
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Something for next year.
That would be very interesting.
And
it better be live and filmed.
So, Alyara, since you are new on the podcast, you get subjected to a member interview. So, with that, I'm going to pass it off to Eana.
Oh, good lord.
Thank God I'm prepared.
Oh, good. So am I.
Professional
Right.
podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, super professional.
Did you also have to search for the document that we set up months ago?
Literally a year ago now.
Yeah, no. Cough, cough. Okay, question 1.
Don't make it sound too clinical.
Alyara. Okay, Alyara unknown. Tell us a bit about yourself. Like, who are you? How long have you been part of the community? And so on.
I've been speaking for 10 years now.
I'm surrounded by people who are way more experienced at Na'vi than me.
Yeah, you're the total newcomer.
You want to make a group over here,
And
and
speaking is still my downfall. If I can hear myself, I freeze like a bunny in headlights. So I went to vet school. I burnt out, and I got very down for a while. And then I found learnna'vi. And I thought, well, I'll just learn learnna'vi and there will be no consequences. I can quit whenever I want.
That's what they all say.
And then we suck them.
Yeah. And if I do poorly, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to care. And this will be something that I can challenge my mind with. Well, I get my act back together, go on with the rest of my life, right? So that was 10 years ago. Before this, I was back to volunteering in a vet clinic, but not so much now. Now I'm sheltering at home, like the rest of us.
Yeah. That's how we were able to get 6 people together.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Couldn't come up with excuses. I mean, we weren't busy when...
Yeah.
So, basically, learnna'vi has been some sort of therapy for you, so to speak?
Kinda, yeah.
That's awesome.
My teacher was Eana Mokri, which nobody remembers him, but he encouraged me to start writing creatively as a way to exercise my knowledge of the language. I wrote 9 short stories, which are all on the forum. Then I kind of wandered away from the community for a while. But now I'm back. It's lovely to be back.
Glad to have you back. Yeah, just by the way, I will link your short stories and also the link to the writing contest.
Fantastic. I was going to demand that you do it, Eana, but I'm glad that you volunteered that.
Just by the way.
It was going to be it was going to be real awkward and direct and confrontational, and as I am known to be.
Yeah.
You're very gracious. Thank you.
You get your behind the scenes look, people.
Yeah, but if I recall correctly, I've read your stories once. A long time ago, I have to admit, but I recall liking them. So I think everyone else who hasn't read them should at least give it a try. So I will link them.
And we should also mention a little book called Kalt'e Maprnen, right?
Oh yeah, I tend to forget about Kalt'e Maprnen.
Yeah, you see, that's how I. How I noticed you for the first time. When you published that was really nice.
Oh yeah.
What was that called? Emma?
Brunnen. It's based on
I don't know about that.
It's based on a storybook by Mem Fox, who I'm not really sure who that is, but I found her book called Hello Baby. It's all about who is the baby? Is the baby this animal? Is the baby that animal? And I adapted it using the animals of Pandora. And thank you. They're all original drawings by me. They're horrible.
Just super cute. No.
They're very cute. They look like an 8-year-old drew them because I have the skills of an 8-year-old.
That adds to the charm, though.
And it suits the book. It's wonderful.
Wasn't one of them like a baby Palulukan with a bow tie or something on its head, if I recall correctly?
No,
that's Kalt'e Palulukan. I think that was somebody else's book. That's okay.
Okay, I'm mixing something up. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
But there was a little cute tapirus, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yes.
I'm not sure. Was there a Prolomoris? I just remember the Flambob.
Best animal anyway. Flambob. So yeah, okay, that's one.
That was one.
No,
I can't shut up, right? First, you can't get me to talk, and then now you can't get me to shut up.
That's fine, though, because we ended up answering a lot of other questions that we ask.
I just wanted to ask, have you contributed anything awesome, anything else awesome to the community besides what we've just talked about? Or
well, I did the top 500 words.
Thank you.
Oh, that was you.
That was me.
I didn't know.
Now we can clickbait this.
You did the frequency analysis, or how did that work?
No, Titsay did the frequency analysis. I'm not computer gifted. But I did many of the vocals.
So that's
So
that's the course
get
on
tired of
Memrise,
hearing my
right?
voice
You're the
after a
one who
while.
does the voice on Memrise. One of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Aha! Now it's like, okay. Now my brain is
Yes,
like...
I am the voice on Memrise.
You're the memorized voice.
Now I know you. Yeah. I'm also the voice of a computer on Star Trek. No, I'm not.
We only need one earth-shattering revelation.
Okay, so do you have any favorite Na'vi word?
My favorite word is srane.
Very positive. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Any reason why?
I just like the way it sounds, and it's, as you said, a very positive word.
Okay.
It's also a very useful word. Srana.
Srane. So are we good?
One more question, maybe?
One more.
One more.
Oh,
One last one. One big one. I'm sure you all already asked Paul Frommer some questions, maybe, during the 10 years you've been active learning. But anyway, if you could ask Frommer or Cameron a movie or language-related question, what would it be?
I didn't come prepared for that one.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I'd like to know how the Tsa'tey are chosen, I think. A little bit about their background, their training, how they connect with Ewa. I'm very interested in their
It's a very
spiritual
good question.
background.
Man, I think that's something that we might see more of, definitely throughout the sequels. Because, I mean, Neytiri is sort of a principal character, and her relationship with the role of Tsahik is complicated and interesting now. And so I imagine, can Neytiri be Tsahik now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that she was already. She's moved up in the ranks.
Right, because so Mo'a was Tsahik, and she was mated with Etukan, and then Neytiri was in training to be Tsahik. But then there was the one line from the film is like, if you choose this path, you can never be Tsahik. But now that Jake is Olo'ektan, does that change things, or?
I'm guessing a Toruk Makdo kind of throws a wrench into the works of everything, so.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, their social hierarchy is not prepared for a Toruk Makdo event.
Yeah, no.
It does not account for it.
Yeah, but I mean, it would also be interesting to know whether now it almost seems like it's a hereditary thing. So if you are the daughter of the clan chief, then you get to be Tsahik. But it also, to me at least, it would be totally logical that the one who is most in sync with Ewa would be considered Tsahik. But then how do you test that?
Like, is it like is it a thing? Is it the thing you study for?
Yeah, well, by now, for now, it looks like it.
I mean, soft spoiler question mark, because it's one of the few things we know about the sequels, but we know that Neytiri and Jake have at least one daughter. So if it is like sort of an ancestral kind of thing, then it's very possible that we will see a character grow into that role over the course of the 4 sequels upcoming.
That would be really cool.
That's a good point.
Alyara was actually one of the first-ish kind of people I interacted with in the community. After I went through the 500 words course, I actually submitted a few recordings to add to it in the places where they were missing. And then she rejected some of them because I had stress on the wrong syllable or pronounced them poorly.
Yeah, I remember that. I got shot down so many times by Terea and myself, so
Stress is just hard.
I still have a lot of holes in my understanding of stress, and I'm pretty sure you could like jump cut through all of the Eana Mokri podcasts, not the only practice, and it's like, wow, Bomedic expresses the wrong syllable like 50% of the time.
Well, I'm sure you can do it with me
I was
too.
going to say, if you were to do that with everyone,
Yeah,
that would be an
same.
episode in and of itself.
And then you do this buzzer sound like
For the longest time, I said too long.
Siula?
Sulang.
Sulang.
That's not even a common word, I would say.
Well,
Like I think
today
at
I
some point
learned.
I messed like Lolu up or something. That is so common, yeah, you know.
Speaking of the Navi language, we got a new blog post from Paul Fromer between our last cast and this one.
Too.
It was about some kind of writing contest. I think.
It was. It was, but also between now and the last cast, we got the recording from Paul Fromer with some new vocabulary.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Not just the leap year post, but the one after that. So
Yeah, we got a lot of... He's been very... I guess he, like us, probably doesn't have much else to do right now, so...
Right. Here's hoping that we can see more of the backlog in the future. No pressure. But anyway, so we did get a handful of words alongside a beautiful long form recording from Paul Fromer discussing the current situation that everyone on planet Earth is aware of in some capacity. Any standout words for anyone for that, or any thoughts on the recording?
The recording was beautiful as always. I mean, what else would you expect of
Sarana.
lì'fya? The word that stood out most to me was palang,
What do you think?
because it's a new verb and a new root, if I'm not mistaken, and that's always interesting. Plus, I think the meaning is also very beautiful and also meaningful in times
Yes.
like these currently. So yeah,
I'm always a fan of new roots.
I know.
I'll admit, when I first saw tung, I was like, wait a second, we already have that word. Like, that's already a defined word. And then I was like, no, idiot, it's a ting.
Oh, I thought you were going to say tung.
We've all
Yeah.
had that.
So for me, so that's actually not a new word, but the word lì'fya, I find it interesting that it sounds like virus.
Right.
Okay, at least you spell it like
That's how I
virus.
always
And
remembered
it's
it.
always been
Yeah.
exactly that's always been my mnemonic for lì'fya, and now it's suddenly used in this message.
So we know it works kind of that way.
Right. And,
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I've been kind of absent recently, so I haven't had a chance to look at it too much. But I concur that palang seems to be the most interesting out of all of them, especially that it has a derived noun.
Yep.
And
Something I found interesting about the message, or like more about my understanding of the message, is that it demonstrated how you can get stuck with the wrong meaning in your head and you cannot hear the right meaning anymore. So one sentence that was in there was kaum set u angesik frato lu la'a'ayul. And I'm now reading this from the next blog post, which has a transcription. Thank you, Kayopal. For some reason, I kept hearing oe instead of u, and then the entire sentence does not make any sense. And I knew it didn't make sense, so I re-listened to this message for like I think 5 times, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I listened to someone else's recording, because people were recording on Discord, people were recording this message for themselves, and it was obvious that it was oo, and I was like, let's go back to the original message. And yes, it was very clearly oo, but my brain was just stuck with the wrong thing.
I found it really funny how we did that challenge where everyone like tries to transcribe it and then record their own version, and then a couple of days later we got like an official post from Paul with it, and it's like that it was cool to be like, okay, how close were you know?
oh yeah, no, I haven't read any of that yet because I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I want to try to transcribe.
So you can still do
definitely do that.
the challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. That's the thing that because that's why I came up with the challenge, is that we need more recordings, and I think it's better, or it's a good exercise also to hear other people, not only yourself when you maybe speak with yourself, or in your immediate group of friends or people that you have in Discord. And for me, it's very important to have recordings of the same message by different people. It's a good listening exercise, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's just listen, and then try to produce it yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if any listeners to Eana Mokri wants to re-speak the entire learnna'vi exercise practice session that we do in the end, you're welcome. Please leave links in the description.
Good luck with that.
Please disregard anything I say.
Yeah.
You can add error buzzers.
You can skip past that. Speaking personally, when I first listened to the original recording on the blog post, I didn't comprehend it 100%, but the parts that I did grasp while I was listening to it allowed me to fill in the blanks enough to where I listened to it the first time, like, oh yeah, I feel like I more or less comprehended entirely what was being said, minus a few words. I'm like, oh, I forgot what that word is, and then I looked them up afterwards, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that fills in the blank.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was to toot my own horn briefly. I was very proud of myself.
Very understandable. I mean, for me, the biggest issue was the speed, because Caio Paul actually speaks very quickly.
Right. A lot quicker than
no
us.
big
Though it was
surprise.
also probably prepared. It was also probably prepared, which helps.
Sure.
But
Yeah, of course.
Remember the last sentence?
But really... Oh,
The last
yeah.
sentence.
I've had to listen to that 20 times to get it right while transcribing.
Wait, which one? Let me see.
The longest
Yeah,
sentence
with a lot of
close to the end.
and
Yeah, I always use with this recording thing because, I mean, when I was recording the message for myself, I wanted to do it in one go without editing because I thought that was kind of cheating. And then it took me 3 times, and 3 times I was failing completely in the beginning and everywhere. And then the 4th time I was going semi-perfectly, not exactly perfectly, but okay. And in the last sentence, literally the last short sentence, there's the last word that says left bone toke. Literally the last word of the message. And I'm like, left bone. And then my brain was like, lock up, stop. Complete garbage.
oh no!
I hate it when that happens.
It was funny though that you left it inside your recording because
Yeah, I was like, this
added
is
a
never
lot of
going to
fun.
be better unless I try it 20 more times. So I also assume that either do you think that Paul would have recorded this in one go, or tried several times, or is he just so good that he can just do this in one go?
Well, while listening to it over and over again, I could hear him click. So I'm pretty sure he paused, at least
Yeah,
paused
yeah,
in
yes.
between sentences.
Right.
And he's very experienced in doing these kind of recordings and prepared recordings. He had to do a lot of them when working on the original Avatar, so it wouldn't be surprised if he's familiar in the ways of editing.
Yeah, but I agree with Plums that we need definitely more of those
But would you
by anyone.
would you want to have more messages that are read aloud from written prepared text, or do you mean more naturally spoken language, like we do in the end of the episode?
Both.
But I want everything.
All
The answer is
recordings.
yes.
Everything. Frau.
But it seems to me that there's a big difference between the
Yeah.
two styles, because I did blog posts in both styles, and I got comments after my I first did a few blog posts that were okay, first write, then read aloud, and then after I did a blog post that was naturally spoken and very slowly. Therefore, people were suddenly saying okay, but now I can actually understand it because you're going so slowly now.
I feel like that's sort of the natural challenge of learning any language, though, is it's going to be easier when you speak and listen to it slowly, because your brain time to catch up when you don't have those sort of fluency paths in your brain where it's sort of just reflexive to understand it. You don't have to make the A to B to C connections anymore. And I know, personally speaking, a lot of my leNa'vi is still A-B-C connection, and there's only a handful of words that I can just spontaneously produce or understand when they're spoken, and those are the ones that are used most frequently in conversation.
but it's also that there's a difference, as you already said, between a prepared text that is maybe just being read aloud, and text that you produce spontaneously. There's also a difference in how you maybe leave out words, or because so much it depends on context. So that's the thing that I'm most interested now, is how Na'vi behaves in conversation. How much can you leave out? How much is left to context?
Yep. Always a careful balance.
I mean, Na'vi can be very concise. Like one-word sentences make absolutely perfect sense in the right context, right? So
Yes.
Anyone else have anything to add to this segment?
Oh, we're talking about the blog
Yes.
post, right? There was still the word tstunkem
Yes.
in the second
Right.
blog post. Favor, and he also liked that because it's tstunwi and
Yes,
kem.
I love that etymology. That
I
was
think it's a
Why
it's like a nice
why are we not
extension
surprised?
to tstunkem and like. Basically, Pamrik, you're saying that you like new roots, but you also like words that are composed of several existing words. So basically, you like all words.
tstunkem.
You caught him in a catch-22.
Word's good.
Okay, so I like words where how do I phrase this without invalidating something I've previously said on a podcast? It's sounding like a total hypocrite.
Good luck.
There are word combinations that I think are very clever. For example, I think tstunkem is very clever. To me, it's like, oh, a kind action, and then that's a favor. Where, like, by comparison, for example, something like wurka, like outgo, is like go outside. It's like that seems super like straightforward and predictable to me. But something like tstunkem is like, if you asked me to come up with a word for favor, I would have just said, oh, that's a new root. I can't imagine two things that could synthesize to be a favor, especially since we don't really have a verb or a word to like owe somebody something. It's like if you ask me what like a favor is like something like an ode, like deed or something like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Obligation.
You think about owing stuff when thinking about favors.
But
I would say it's something nice you do.
But anyway, so tstunkem is like, oh, that's clever. I would not have thought about that. Or where something like, again, just scrolling down a little bit, the wurka, like I'll accept it. New words are always great, and I like them. But that combination is like, this isn't as mean as I'm saying as it sounds. That's not as inspiring, I guess. I don't know.
Wow. No.
You're out.
I do see what you mean. I think you validly made a non-contradictory opinion about this.
Yes. If ever there seems to be a counterexample, I could just cross my arms and be like, "Well, that wasn't that clever to me," and then I'm out. That's my alibi.
But seriously, I do think it makes sense because, like, I also have those words where I'm like, okay, they are really nice because they are inspired, and some words are like, okay, yeah.
As a blanket statement, I think any combination with gem, I like.
Interesting.
The one example sentence Kayupo gave us was very interesting to me in that context, which is tungwer futa wins tsu'tey ngata. Like, allow me to ask a favor of you, which is just, I don't know, it's so polite yet like asking and stuff, like I don't know, it's nice. For me, it's very nice.
I always forget
that
about
sentence.
ta and how it's very flexible for an adposition. Like there's a lot of adpositions that seem like there's only like a handful of situations where they like make sense, but then there's like ta is one of them, and then b is another one that's just like you can very broadly apply these adpositions to almost to the point where they feel like an extension of the case system, which
Yeah.
I would argue that all adpositions are. But
Yes.
We're not going down that rabbit
In fact,
hole
I think
now.
you have before.
I remember such a conversation.
it's one of my pet topics or things I like to rant about. vis-a-vis the Na'vi language. Speaking of the Na'vi language and words in the language and practicing them, that all ties in neatly to a segment that we just so happen to do at the end of every podcast. Does anyone know where I'm going with this one? With this overly gratuitous setup while I look for a word of the cast? It's the Na'vi conversation practice that we do at the end of every episode.
Oh, of course.
What?
Oh, now I understand.
Paul. No.
Whoa.
That's a total surprise.
Even I didn't get it.
Anyway, so the usual disclaimer, we're not experts, we're doing our best, and we're coming up with this on the seat of our pants, so we're going to mess up, we're going to make mistakes just like I did there, just in Na'vi, not English, and we hope you find this practice enjoyable and useful, as we always do. With that, the word of the cast, I'm just going to be super lazy and say it's tstunkem, which we just discussed, is a noun for a favor or an act of kindness. It comes from tstunwi, for kind, and gem, which is an action or a deed. Ha sivako, bivenkoko.
tstunkem, srak. Se sunuweru nit an for iset aya tutte tstunkem si laporu.
Seri well tsai hemdi nifker nit an. Zaperteuen for srung seri aisutea kelkus seri asim. Elan wea elan pot weru san elan peye or elan wea kolanom tsiosiut wethbi sick Kinteram, srane, Kinteram. Ute tsakem weti, tsakemil weti leartokseki.
Oe kolen tsenge afkotsun kivanom ayuti. Joa euro tsenge a krr tsola a wel up arati a tuteota a volt esan rute o kingal srungit sakr rute bulte taluna oet sun srungsivi sek.
Fitsing thing.
Tstunwi, nit an.
Tstunwi asrungsiu.
Tstunwi lunga.
Oe aun kalkumina au.
I wedi ni tang.
Where in the tank?
Anker.
Se mund atanweye mi urke efter tstunkem CV. Ulte beje sasem me sasem fbi pol kolanum sjuvetineteng. Lirtokseki sekoli wetineteng.
Lu ftuene ol fitseng taluna kelu kane fwa vrke fitseng. Keli.
Kelly.
Spilwell futa me USA lo ane fois vrke kifjak.
Mitseng I single?
Sì, strane.
Pissing.
Fitsingeri tsunfko workive o lu poru tikin apa tikin letranten sle vin aektan ilf da frappo aun helkungea me helkungea.
Frane. Fitsenge lu leNa'vi.
Strane. Slefitseng ayatutemi urke hufua få få zenke få swelut och få tstunkem si.
Srana.
Srana.
Ulte tsao ke sunueru taluna aya tutte fmi net aan fmi net aan lì'fya. Ulte tsun livu lehurap
Srana.
te efumio.
Ne au kelu leherap se saporu na sla I hoaktu ru.
Ja.
Frane.
Ewana sute neteng
Sì.
sihun
Strane.
slivu spin.
Uudet sivun die verkoop niet eng.
Strane.
Heel simpelt
Slijf speel we niet eng fitsenge aya tutte mi to propati. Sle niet eng aya tutteru lu tinten a tranten niet aan. Nat genong ai sutte a munge sufeti ne ai senga af kotsun kivanom tsa sufeti tsenge.
Oi raio si foru.
Ningai.
Strane irayo ma frappo a tstunkem si.
Fraporuas rungsi.
Strane taluna luke ainga get sivunfko vivar rive kefjak.
Strane.
Kuro oi workive fte tiveran alim.
Tutsam.
Tsea wel kuro sute ti tstunkem si vi niteng. For solea wel niteng eywa'eveng di Pehemlu. Strane, uvansi.
Avanti.
Pefia suola. Pefia suola. Solane, eywa'eveng uvan CV workiva neteng sla ketsun ko uvan CV fitsap uvan sapi fitsap hoof
Aussiteng,
fitsap sra kemo Ausiteng. Fett.
I'm on my way.
Wet, well for the fiat.
Kehe.
Sla eywa'eveng niwod lu aussiteng.
Me sifkeitok lefkryk jak strany.
Where ansautrei stusi newin.
Du soli srak. Sami fusai.
Sami.
Dam.
Soli strane. Effungen.
Frauso.
Ote effu lekeung.
Kehe.
Frakar.
Nengai tstunkem si o me helku frakar. Alunta ke effu o lekeung li.
Rut bild weru teingta pefiafko tsakemsi niltsa. Tsakemalu tstunkem me helku.
Aletsvatsia. Zenele fuiveo ailut. Sla pesiang ngaru te engti well.
Dam. Awan so
Rut EP.
Kin I well fifne pamtseoti. Fkotsun si varf de pive.
Te englu fois zenefko livu sneek emu.
Strane. Lungai.
Oes en kim kapim.
Snake imu, srak. Cola.
Ute zenefko ive Kurtia me atsame zene ko tstunkem CV now lì'fya zene ive kurtia uvan CV.
Ninghai.
Neuro tsakem CV sla nilam tsau ftuekelu. Taluna natkenong well to tstunkem tsengit akr tsakr yom well vutsoti me tstunkem tseng kefjak sla sed sene o eywa'eveng Sailahe.
Lungarus renusrak. Renutereia.
Renu
Strane.
Kurresrak.
Tsaulu Tingnazik. Tingnazik atin.
Fili'u alu preach, leNa'vi slupeu.
Imsrak.
Kes mun verran lähetään.
Imsrak. Zene livu fkoru renu tireia se pum kara. Te tstunkem sivi mehalku frater.
Lungai.
Ofko cap im Zakar nyazik nit an livu fois tstunkem sivi mehalku.
Tam. OF missi well ngesiop ranuti kre.
Sivako.
Idre passevi.
Irayo ma frappon. Se hack ningai fit fitefkeito kefja.
Strane.
Strane no.
Rana. Sla oe oelu uvansiu. Hafral weri ha. Ha.
Ha. Ja. Sran.
Strane very hot knitting. Taluna imna haung tok wel ke kuti knitting. Na au gra zene tstunkem sivi o urke. Salu keft o umwel zat sle lungai.
Strane.
Sle awa u a lolatem wefbi lu fois o zene eywa'eveng rohelku set frakker
Strane.
Salam.
ulte tsao hek ni sra
Zene oe.
tanuna tikankem snge I livulom weru.
Strane luke tstunkem sunke livu foru tikan kefjak.
Srane.
Tekan.
Strane.
Tekankem.
Strane. Se kolano e tikan tireia.
Stran.
Luke tikan tireia sun fois livu kolano fois luke tikan tireia lu kelf pomron nit an ute tsau lu ina tingazik gra aungia.
Srane milte.
Ne wot.
Alunta zene livu ai weru o aungaru tstunkem o.
Ingai.
O te pumatsun foti seikulin. Kefjak?
Sorane slä.
Strane, sulin. Sulene OF-bifel, slä smånvertale un.
Krokro lu hap tstunkem ngea kelivu o. Kafia?
Strane. Kesem
Smon weru tsa'u netan iset. Zene ivinan ulte zene hanrel CV netan.
Strane,
Sitslane.
smånvertale
Sunu weru ai tolarti.
Tsalsungai kara tsai dinvi hase soli tsai dinvi ru fko hase sivi ikefu nitram kefjak.
Lungai.
Ha
Sakeneo.
lungai
ha
ni i.
tsun livu tekan. Tekan ufwa hase sivi dinvi.
Ngapel
Lungai.
na pamerek ningai nga
Langu
ne
ngai.
it na waye satno.
Ke root.
Kalt eywa'eveng way.
Numa satu perut
Slanga ngaro lute auch.
Satno family.
Satno kalu pamerek.
Sodake tungal futa fko tsun sivaongaru satu.
Feuhäck.
Sodane.
Aunga he.
Sarane.
Saulu lun aingaru ivunet feut kefjak ma frapo.
Sarane.
Kepo tengaru oe. Tam. Suntivam.
Heck ne au.
Slä se sypeoe. Sypeoe. Tsni tsa tifkeitok. Ia niwin.
Silpe oeting.
Nisilpe.
Nisilpe.
Evi. Fikker.
Nisipe.
Hasesisrak.
Sarane.
Tam. Suntivam.
Suntivam.
Sodane.
All right, with that, we're going to wrap up the episode. Thank you very much for joining us. If you are not already subscribed to us somehow, but you're still listening to this podcast, you can do so at eyanamokri.com or on youtube.com/Eana Mokri, or all of the other outlets on which we are available, which are probably directed to on eyanamokri.com. So that's really all I need to say.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're on the spoofy. And
We're on the spoofy.
Anyway, with that, thank you very
It's
much
for a very specific subset of fans there.
Yes. I'm sure we'll get comments saying
Yeah.
I got that reference and nothing more.
You got that reference, leave a like.
Smash that subscribe button. Ring the bell.
Stung. Stung.
Can we just stop this episode?
It was set up so perfectly. I'm sorry.
Break old belty. Hailevai mafrapo.
Bye.
Tam.
Maiwa.
Mawaya.